What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are looking at the Wednesday 8-game main slate, which is the early slate here on the DraftKings, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, running through the 4 p.m. hour. We are, again, rotating our way through these MLB rotations. So we got some good pitching matchups. We got some bad pitching matchups. We got a matchup, Texas-Chicago, which we've dealt with weather throughout this series. It's going to be rainy all day and cold all day in Chicago for this one. So we'll see if this game actually plays. If it does play, it's going to be wet and cold. So maybe not the most conducive hitting weather, but we'll see how that one plays out. We get the Yankees on the day slate. After they move that series up, we haven't had them on the main slate. We got the Sacramento, San Diego Athletics matchup. That game total again went over. James, they went over in the first inning.
First inning, yes.
On the Tuesday. First inning, Dylan Cease rocked in the first inning of that game. They scored 9 combined runs, and now there's 13 total, at least at last check.
14. 14.
14.
JJ Bleday home run. It makes it 14.
The game total has finally bumped up. You said so 9.5.
It is 9.5, and I told you there was juice on the over. There is now movement towards the under. So
mistake.
People just do not understand. Do not understand.
Yeah, so that there could certainly be some runs scored in that game. We at least don't have to deal with cores, so that's a plus because all of the chalk homered on the Tuesday slate. William Contreras homered, Sal Frelick homered, Christian Yelich homered, Jackson Chourio didn't. But might as well have. Doubled, stolen base, RBIs, run scored. Yeah, so we don't have to deal with that. Should be.
You're gonna have to deal. You're gonna have to deal with cores on the live show because
the live stream. That's true. 5-game live at 6:45. That slate starts. So. All right, we go position by position here. We appreciate you all who tune in each and every day. If you are new to the show, welcome. Again, we go position by position. We build a lineup at the end of the show, so stay tuned here. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Get the 7-day free trial. Get in our Discord. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section of the show. Let us know what you thought, what you like, where you're playing, who you're stacking, who you're fading, and we'll chat with you throughout the day as we get you guys ready for this 1 p.m. day baseball Wednesday slate. All right, pitching. Hunter Brown is your top price starter. Seattle, $10,000. We have Shota in that rain game, $9,700 against Texas. Max Fried gets Detroit at $9,000. Those are your top 3 price starting pitchers. Are you going in that direction, though, on this slate?
Hunter Brown is awesome. And that's my rant for the day. He's a really good pitcher, dude. He figured some things out, and the 2 things that Hunter Brown does really well, we like in fantasy. Gets a lot of ground balls, strikes a lot of people out. You will not hear me say much else, and I don't think that there needs to be. It's an elite matchup in an elite ballpark against a team that has struck out a lot in the past. Lost their leadoff hitter for 12 weeks. Their second baseman's been banged up. I mean, the Mariners are not off to a very good start in terms of health after a bad year of offense, after the former players are bashing them for not improving their offense. Hunter Brown stands out the most, especially when you factor in Imanaga and the rain. If that's going to get any better, then we'd have interest there. And then Max Fried, I think Max Fried looked really good in his second start. Obviously, the first start was a rocky one.
Sure.
But he is the ace with Garrett Cole gone. Like, this is the best pitcher on the Yankees. He showed it in the start that he made against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And Detroit, when you think about it, like, they obviously are a very matchup based team. They will pinch hit. They will do a lot of like mixing and matching guys. A lot of their righties, John, are hurt. Gleyber Torres, IL. Matt Vierling, IL. Jake Rogers, placed on the IL today.
Yeah.
Wenzel Perez.
They got Torkelson.
Yeah, they have Torkelson, Malloy, Javi Baez, Ibanez.
Yeah, their numbers against lefties this year. Again, obviously we're playing small sample sizes. So 24% strikeout rate, that's just middle of the pack. 217 batting average, 130 ISO, 290 WOBA. They're not a very good number there against left-handed pitching. Again, I understand that it is it's the smaller sample size, but they're killing righties because they have so many lefties in their lineup. If this is a righty matchup, 289 batting average, tops in the league, third in the league rather. 204 ISO against right-handed pitching. Their WOBA is number 1 in baseball against righties at 383. So you're catching them at the right split. If this was a right-handed pitcher, we probably would not suggest that situation. Though they did score runs on Carlos Rodon the other day. They did not fear that. They struck out a decent amount. They also scored some runs in that game. So. But Fried, we obviously have better caliber of pitcher there. Taylor McGill's probably super chalky going up against Miami here. Again, another game that's probably going to be a little bit chilly, but at least it's during the day. McGill's looked really good in his 2 starts against Houston and Toronto. Two kind of generally tougher matchups. Are you worried about pitch count at all with him? 77 and 82 in those 2 starts. Do we think that they're just slow building him, or do we think like he's an 80 pitch guy? What do we think for McGill?
I mean, they've kind of done it with a couple of their starters, right?
Senga hasn't cracked 80 pitches yet.
Senga did the same thing his first 2 times. So, I mean, obviously the matchup's great. If he picks up a win, it's great. I don't think you can always rely on that because it's baseball, right? That's baseball Susan. That's the John Sterling to Susan Waldman thing. Like, it happens 162 games. Like, there's no guarantee McGill is going to win every start he makes this year. So
Especially would not like deep, right? It doesn't give him an opportunity to always get those later opportunities. So
it's like he's running really good, right? 5 and 5 1/3, and he picks up 2 wins. That's running incredibly hot. So you need pitches, or you need the innings and the pitches. I'm trying to look at
it's a great matchup for them. Righties for Miami this year, 27.5% strikeout rate, 218 batting average, 095 ISO, 271 WOBA for Miami against right-handed pitching.
So this is something Clay Holmes, starter on Tuesday, John.
Yeah.
This was his 3rd start. Oh, this was only his 2nd start. No, this was his 3rd. He threw 87 pitches in his 3rd start, but he had also thrown 89 and 85 respectively in his first 2. So
he had a big day too.
He did. But I'm just saying, like, there has been no reason as to why McGill and why Senga, Senga is because of the injuries, but like looking at Griffin Canning, his 2 starts, 87, 89 pitches, right?
Yeah.
So he has not been limited. David Peterson, 89, 91 pitches in his first 2 starts. So there's clearly a difference between those pitchers and McGill Senga, right? Those 2 are obviously being a little more limited than the others. But if we get to 90 pitches, this conversation doesn't matter because he's probably pitched into the 6th inning and racked up more strikeouts against the Marlins.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm checking to see quickly what and again, it doesn't matter much now that we're on his 3rd start, but what did he do in spring?
I was to say, was there a delayed start for him?
No, you know what? Listen, he maxed out 88 pitches his final spring start. So you tell me.
Okay, so maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that was just situational, right?
Could be. Yeah, definitely could have been just kind of situational situation for him getting pulled.
Situational situation.
Yeah,
nice.
Definitely could have been that. All right, we got McGill. We got McGill there.
Nice.
Flaherty versus the Yankees. Yankees are striking out a lot.
They are.
Are we interested in a Jack Flaherty play here?
I mean, I like the pitcher a lot. There was a problem with right-handed power last year, if I remember correctly. 207 ISO against righties. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
The Yankees have the best righty possibly ever in terms of power.
Ben Rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ben Rice
Not a righty, but
he's left.
I was talking JC Escara,
Yeah.
the backup catcher for look, 207 ISO is no joke, right?
No.
That is a lot of power.
He's got to miss the bats, right? Right now, Yankees fifth highest strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching, 26.1%. Everything else, though, elite. ISO against right-handed pitching, 244. WOBA, 364. OPS, 844. 264 batting average, 507 slugging. Miss their bats, or they're putting the ball in the stands is basically what's happening with them there. Because they do have, obviously, a lot of power from the left side of their plate now.
Yes.
Jazz using the torpedo bat. Ben Rice, I made that, that we'll talk about him. His StatCast page is red top to bottom. Everything about that guy is hitting the ball hard, barreling everything.
He's been good.
And then then they have Judge. So Flaherty's going to need 2 missed bats. But he navigated the Dodgers in his opening start. So
he's good. He's a good pitcher. Yes. He's the knock on him his whole career has been health, right? But last year he was healthy, so that's kind of throw that away. And he can miss bats, and also he might give up 2 solo shots in this game, and or 3 home runs, and you wouldn't be surprised, right? There's a wide range of outcomes.
Tigers are probably upset they traded him last year. They could have
probably
used him.
They could. Yes, they could have. Yes, they could have.
Cincinnati, I'm not sure could hit you on the mound at the moment. Your guy Roop pitched well on the Tuesday slate. Now we have Justin Verlander. Verlander faced them in his opening start in Cincinnati, fared pretty well. Seattle couldn't find the plate, was getting knocked around, didn't last long in that game. Super obviously disappointing. Bounce back spot for Justin Verlander here. Any interest?
Yes, I do think that this is fine. I'm a little indifferent on it in general, but with how bad Cincinnati's been, I think that there's some. I wish he was a little cheaper. I will say $8,000 is a little uncomfortable with how kind of bad he's been.
That's fair. We've been Brandon Pfaadt fans, but I don't think I really want to try Baltimore. I know they were a bit disappointing for us, but not to their own fault. They hit the ball 110 miles an hour all game off Merrill Kelly. We just weren't able to capitalize. They hit it right at people all day, or right into the ground all day.
I'm excited to see the expected ERA for Merrill Kelly in that game.
45 probably, But again, I like Brandon Pfaadt. I think there's some upside here. This isn't a matchup I'm probably going to touch him with. Male, again, not going to go there. Chicago, bet their team total. It doesn't matter if it's going to pour, rain, wind in, out. They're scoring 900 runs every game.
Yeah.
So he's probably out. I like Max Meyer, the talent. I don't know if I like Max Meyer in New York.
Love Max Meyer, the talent.
That matchup feels a little scary for me.
Good ballpark to pitch in.
Yeah. Lineup. Unless someone's sitting for New York, if Soto sits or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Soto plays he won't sit.
Yeah,
he's gonna play every day.
You want to tempt that fate there. I'm not gonna go Beto in Sacramento. Landon Knack against Washington 7K. Nick Martinez on the road against the Giants 69. I don't think we'd go anywhere else here, right?
Knack is not going to pitch deep into this game.
Yeah, that's fair. He's starter.
Martinez, for a ground ball pitcher to give up 3 home runs in his first 2 starts and a lot of fly balls is definitely concerning. 15 fly balls.
Yeah.
Nick Martinez has largely been a ground ball pitcher, so that's obviously off to a little bad start there.
So is this a slate with no value then?
Luis F. Castillo. The F is for F no. Not going to use that guy. Dean Kramer. Another one
in the right spot, maybe you consider it, but not.
I would say just the only appealing thing here is the price is pretty good at 6,500.
Yeah.
but he
If you
hasn't
get
looked.
this game at 6,500, you probably win. You give him 5 runs in this game, but got a win against Toronto and gave you almost 14 fantasy points.
Yeah, and that game is saved by a win, right? Because you have less
Yeah,
than
5
10
points.
fantasy points in that start.
Yeah, but Baltimore's offense will do that for you, you know?
And Baltimore's offense can do that. So like, I'd be okay going to Kramer, but man, I think we might have to take some shots here, John. Like A Fought, A Meyer, because just like you said, the talent
Yeah.
of the pitcher could prevail. Because I think I would rather go down in flames with one of those two arm talents than
Right.
using
Then say you
like,
play Nick Martinez and you're like, why did I
yeah,
do
I
this?
mean that, yeah, and then you'd be like, at least like I thought I could get strikeouts with Max Meyer, right?
Yeah.
at least that was an option.
I
Like
mean, so the Mets aren't striking out, right? 19.6% against right-handed pitching, but 199 batting average, 150 ISO, 286 WOBA. You know, it's 220 batting average in balls in play. Obviously, suggests they're probably getting rather unlucky, but they haven't done any real damage against righties to this point. It's obviously a smaller sample size, but
I mean, they've won a lot of. I think did they win a bunch of like 1-0 or like 3-2 games this
early
against
in
the
the
Blue
year.
Jays? Where Yeah, well, wasn't it just this Blue Jay series where they were just
Yeah.
like super?
I mean, they hung 10
Um,
today.
so like this is one of the value pitchers on the slate. Okay, Osvaldo Bido, John. Why I would just take a shot on someone else. I'm just looking
Yeah.
at some Osvaldo Bido numbers. Do you see how the discrepancy between the ground balls and the fly balls are there?
Yeah.
They're in Sacramento, and this guy is doing. He has gotten away with 0 home runs.
In Coors.
John, he has a 60% fly ball rate allowed this year after a 50% fly ball rate last year.
I'll say this about
37% hard hit rate allowed for Osvaldo Bido, dude.
I'll say this about the Padres at least. Tatis left with an injury. Merrill went on the IL.
Yep.
You know,
It's true. It's true.
who knows what this is going to look like on
Cronenworth left today's game with an injury as well.
Cronenworth as well. So I mean, like you could be really looking at like a minor league team plus Machado. You know,
Yeah, but that's okay because they're hitting in their usual ballpark.
Yeah.
I'm just look if you want to tempt fate with Osvaldo Bido in this ballpark, you can do it. You can do it.
I don't want to. Guys got a 6-5 through 2 games.
Yeah, 60% fly ball rate, 37% hard hit rate. Okay.
He did have a 9K per 9 last year.
I'm happy for him. Also had a 50% fly ball rate.
Yeah, but you know what? Okay, that fly ball rate, only a 3% home run to fly ball rate.
Yeah, it's sick in the head.
Somehow, is he just giving up like soft contact fly balls?
Well, okay, I'm going to ask you this. Guess what his soft contact is this year through 2 games?
38%.
7.
Then I don't know.
Play him, please. I dare you to play us.
He's got a 6% infield fly ball rate.
I mean, dude, how is he unscathed through 2 starts with these numbers? In Coors, one of them Seattle. That's why
his xFIP 604 and his Sierra is 536. So it's not like
he's not surviving. He's not surviving this start.
You know what? If that lineup comes out and it looks like a 4A team, I might give him.
Okay.
All right. Enough of this. Now realizing garbage pitching. Catcher. It is a day game, so we're not really sure, I guess, who will be in the lineup here.
Well, they played Kelly, so we know at least Amaya will be in the lineup.
It's true.
If that game plays.
Patrick Bailey against Martinez, 34.
Yep. Langalier's home run spot against Randy Vasquez. I know Randy Vasquez against lefties, but I would play basically anything athletic in this game.
We might get Carantini in this lineup.
We might. Yep.
I would play Carantini. He hit from the left side. I don't think that's his better
Right
split.
side. Yeah, right side.
But at $2,200, if he's in the anywhere near the middle of the Houston lineup, I could see that against Castillo.
Agreed. Higashioka against the lefty.
Sure, it's free, but it works, right? Or it's a manga rather. But.
Yeah, Imanaga. Dingler homered on the Tuesday slate, early slate. Mm-hmm. One of like 4 home runs that the Tigers hit. Fun to play Dingler. He's been really good. And no, Jake Rogers now on the IL. So
yeah, he's gonna play. I got a fat bit on him for FSGA, so we'll see if that plays out on a week now that I lost Connor Long.
Yeah, RIP. Yeah, Sels and I too drafted him for the lulls, and he ended up getting hurt. Hadn't had a hit before it, but
Yeah, but he was also like the most unluckiest hitter in baseball if you saw that stat as well. Anyways, Ohtani 65 against Jake Irvin. If you can find a way to spend up on this slate, that feels pretty decent. If Josh Naylor can come through, he had the 2 RBI double today. He's 47. Ben Rice is going to lead off in this game, though. Where's Ben Rice at?
Or hit second.
He'll be top
because he'll be first or second.
$3,500. You think they'll have Wells lead off?
Well, I know it was a lefty, but it just depends on the Bellinger stuff because Bellinger had bad chicken wings. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Chicken
guy Chris Ray commented that he should have gone boneless.
I don't want to. We're not going to. This show's never going to end if we start diving into that. But if Bellinger can't play, they might do what they did on and lead off Goldie again because he continues to just rake even though
not missing
three hits again. So they might just do like the Goldie Rice Judge, but I guess it just depends if they want to do that against a righty because it was obviously Scooble on the mound on Tuesday.
Again, I showed you the numbers. I'll even let's see if I can pull it up here, but excuse me. Ben Rice's numbers begin this year are absolutely just insane. 100 percentile hard hit percentage.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Yeah, he's been unbelievable.
Barreling everything. Exit velocity 98%. Expected batting average 335. Expected WOBA 520. Expected slugging 800. He's walking 20% of the time. He's not striking out. He's not chasing out of the strike zone. Like everything here is elite for Ben Rice. So
which was the player that he was in the minors before last year. Big power, great eye. Aaron Boone had talked about right immediately getting called up. Great eye, doesn't strike out a lot. And then he struck out a ton when he got to the major leagues. So
he had that one little run where he had a bunch of homers early and then he couldn't.
He had the 3 homer game against the Red Sox.
Yeah. But now he's not really striking out a ton. So.
No, he's not. And you mentioned it, he's walking too.
Walking a ton. So Ben Rice at 35. You could go Torkelson. Dude, he was the number 1 overall pick. And then his rookie season, he hit 30 homers, had 90 RBIs. And then last year, forgot to take a bat to the plate, I guess, and just struggled. And then I was watching this game the other day because I had some early exposure to it. And they did a side-by-side. And we talk about this all the time. They adjust their stance and their hands and their swing. And he became more compact instead of long. And here... 3 homers, 310 batting average, and he's not striking out nearly as much as he was. He's striking out, but not as much as he was last year. Yep. Again, I know Max Fried's really good, but Torkelson, certainly a super talented player to have already hit 30 homers as a rookie. If they fixed him at all, there's value here at $3,600 for him. Pavin Smith against Creamer at 38. It hit third in their lineup tonight. Some upside there, obviously. And then, dude, Randy Vasquez.
Yep, get to
lefty
him.
Power.
Yep.
Tyler Soderstrom.
Yep.
This is a bingo spot for us.
Yep, give me all of it.
This is a bingo spot for us. With Tyler. We'll go back to the well. Tyler Soderstrom's here in a ballpark that He's giving up. What did our guy Matt Sells text us earlier today?
17 home runs.
And that was before that was
Blade.
after the Machado homer, I think, right?
And before Blade, before the Blade homer too.
So like insane home run profile already in this ballpark. Bad pitching is not going to fare well here in this ballpark. That's just what we know.
No.
And Vasquez against lefties was the bingo spot.
I got the numbers. Ready?
All right.
Against lefties last year, 174 ISO, expected ISO 203, 413 WOBA, expected WOBA 420. Just 90 exit velocity.
Was he the one that had like the homers per 9 at like 3.5, or was that somebody else that we kept chasing?
No, it was Marlins pitcher.
Okay, yeah.
Who was it? He's not pitching this year.
No, he wasn't. And you know what? I don't think he ever gave up the home runs whenever we played it too. But the homer per 9 numbers were like very bad for.
It was a Marlins righty I forget who it was, but.
So he was still over a homer per 9 last year against lefties, a 581 xFIP versus lefties last year for Vasquez. So, and did not strike them out. 8% strikeout rate.
8%.
So give me some Tyler Soderstrom from here. It feels like he's going to go yard.
Yep.
In that spot. So he can live in the mid tier. You mentioned obviously Goldschmidt's on a heater. Again, I think I'd prefer going down to Rice if I'm going to go in that spot. But
agreed.
Other value down here? Anything worth mentioning to you?
Anything worth mentioning?
I mean, if you're not in B though, Gavin Sheets is probably going to hit cleanup now if everybody's out of that lineup.
Yes. I mean,
and they give him outfield eligibility too.
Yeah, and Araz, if you wanted to play him and Araz, who's been awesome lately, you could play Araz, who's 3,600, another mid-tier first baseman, and then play Sheets in the outfield. Sure. I would say those two would probably stand out the most. Who else I just see? Wilmer, just for the power that he started off the year with.
Yeah.
And Nick Martinez allowing home runs and fly balls unlike he usually does.
Yeah.
Probably it.
Yeah, because you'd play Ohtani at first, or you could play Ohtani, but obviously Max Muncy has first base eligibility. There's power there. Looking at Jake Irvin's numbers right now against lefties for Irvin, I would imagine also probably pretty bad. So this year, obviously not good. He's small sample size, but he's giving up 3 homers and 26 batters already against left-handers. So not good numbers there for our guy.
Last year was bad too. Last year was bad.
Yeah, 1.6 homers per 9 last year to lefties for Jake Irvin. So
208 ISO, 207 expected ISO. So just expected to stink in the power department against lefties.
That's not good. All right, second base. Jazz again. If you're just buying into the Yankees' power here against righties, Flaherty 58.
I'd love to. Just for the record, I'd love to see Jazz's numbers career in the cold weather because he is not a cold weather person, and he's from the Bahamas.
Sure.
And if you watch Jazz, he is more bundled up than any human being ever playing baseball, and there's just no way that he's able to like fully function in the cold. He doesn't look like the same player when it's cold.
I was watching the Red Sox game, just small quip here. It was 30 degrees in Boston today. They played Toronto, and the announcers, whenever they would go to the bullpen, they would play guess the reliever because the relievers were wearing jackets and like full face masks. So they were playing like guess who it is that gets getting up, and it was an ongoing joke as the Red Sox lost to Toronto today. But
that's good.
Super cold in that game. Excuse me. Nico Horner 46 again. Chicago's just going to score runs if that game plays. Just the way it's going to be. That's how it's going to happen.
Yep.
Tommy Edman, not the right split for him, but he's obviously been awesome. Where would we go? Garcia, 34 against Knack, even though he's not long for that game.
Probably, yeah. Lux Garcia, because we know Lux is going to hit cleanup behind. So it's just hilarious.
Yeah, Lux is terrible.
Ibanez has the better split. I know you mentioned that he has not been. Detroit has just not hit the ball against lefties, but he has been good against lefties in the past. If Tawa starts the second base, like fine as just like a pure punt.
Sure.
But it's a pretty bad position. I guess TBD on what Cronenworth, the status of Cronenworth at $4,100, because we don't know what that's going to look like. If Cronenworth plays, he'll probably hit like 4th or 5th in their lineup. Altuve, you know what? Altuve looks really good. He homered again on Tuesday.
I mean, it could just be a spot where like the position's so bad you just pay up and move on.
Right? Yeah, I mean, pay all the way up or just pay all the way down. Just punt.
Third base, again, you have Machado, could be one of the few healthier Padres in that lineup.
Yep.
Matt Chapman against Martinez, $4,600. We're talking Muncy already. Paredes, 37 against Castillo.
Yeah, I expect him to be pretty popular as long as he's under 4K, because they've been hitting him so high up in the order. But
Josh Jung returned to the lineup, had a decent game, 3 hits. Now, again, I understand the weather and all that stuff, but it is a lefty. If that game plays, it is the right split for him, and he faced it. He did well against a righty tonight, so $3,200 is too cheap for Josh Jung if this is what he's going to do.
Agreed.
Let's see.
Jackson Malloy will lead off with the lefty on the mound for Detroit. I think both you and I have a lot of respect for Max Fried, the pitcher. So I don't want to keep recommending we go against them. Yeah, go against them. But like they are extremely cheap at some of these like really weak positions.
Yeah. John Birdie pinch ran and stole a bag.
He stole another base. Yeah, he stole another base.
All right, shortstop. Again, you got to find your spot for it. Mookie at 6K. Ellie Gunner, again, as much as we like Fod, he has been getting hit. So
specifically against lefties too.
Yeah, and Gunner had a 110-mile-an-hour rocket out, a couple of times in this game. So
first pitch of the game.
Yeah. Dansby had a big night again. That it's so sucky that's such a game that doesn't seem like it's gonna play. Based on the Weather Channel reporting that I'm looking at, it's gonna be like 60% rain the entire day. So maybe it's light rain and they can play through it and they just play wet. But I want to play some Cubbies here against Raleigh. So I would play Edwards at 42. Guy gets on, he can steal bag. He's a good hitter, good contact guy. Perdomo, same thing. Gonna hit the top of that lineup. $3,900. Good spot against Screamer.
I have no objections against either of them. I'd probably lean Edwards.
Okay.
I would play Adama. Yeah, he hits. He just hits.
Just hits. Professional hitter, Jacob Wilson.
Doesn't strike out, hits.
One of his 2 home runs this year would have only been a home run in this ballpark. So, benefit to him there.
Yeah, and the other one was in Coors.
Yeah, the other one was in Coors. Yeah, it's 2 home runs. Coors Field and Coors Light. So,
Coors Field, Coors Light. Just circling a little back, Bogarts has been a little better of late. I know it hasn't been exciting, but I'm telling you, man, like this park makes unexciting players look more exciting than they really are.
He is so washed.
He took a lot of money and became
Javi Baez.
With but just weak contact instead of striking out. Like what's worse? Like all the weak contact that Bogarts makes or all the strikeouts that Baez
He's
has?
At least avoiding the memes, right? Javi goes up there.
He's avoiding the memes. That's true. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
the 3-pitch slider in the left-hand batter's box that struck him out. So that was like one of the most embarrassing efforts you'll ever see from Major League Baseball.
Just doesn't care. And Willie Adames against a righty. I know, again, another guy who really hasn't had it this year and hasn't hit a home run gets a righty that is allowing home runs. I'm not going to give up on Willie Adames 10 games into the year.
That's fine. I'll tell you right now when you play Willie Adames. When are
We are
they
looking up when
in
they go to Milwaukee.
When are they in Milwaukee? Okay, let's just get this. I know you want to play him really badly. They don't
Dude,
go to Milwaukee dude. I'm still scrolling. When
I
are
guess
they
he's
in
not hit a home
Milwaukee?
run. I guess no home runs this year for Willie Adames. That's the only time he's going to hit a home run is when he's
Dude,
in
the only time they are in Milwaukee this year,
September.
August 27th, 28th, and 29th. So scrap it. It's gonna be a rough season for Willie Adames.
He's not hitting one home run until then. Sure.
It's not till the end of August. So.
You're right. You're right. He's good.
Yeah, I would actually honestly just play Jacob Wilson here.
Yeah, he's
professional hitter, dude. Just
outside of the obvious, can spend up on anyone above.
Yeah, you can spend up any of these guys. But outfield has a lot of spend up options for us.
Yes.
Tani, Judge, Tucker, Soto, Corbin Carroll homered again. Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler from the left side.
I'm not. We don't need to talk about any of them. I don't know. There's
Jordan
not one wrong. There's not one wrong answer. Not one singular bad answer. Usually we can just say like pick your stack, or usually you can pick out like one or two that you wouldn't play. I'd play literally every single player.
Every single one of those guys from Jordan up.
I would play every. Yeah. Yep.
It all depends on like what your build is. If you pick your stack, like we say, there's not a wrong answer here.
And then basically you get 2 Altuve again, and I'd basically play the next like 6 names.
Dude, James Wood.
Yeah, he's homered in 4. Didn't he have like homers in 4 or 3 straight at bats?
Yeah, it was like a homer, double homer or something like that.
Yeah. And he's
James Wood has been awesome. He is a mountain of a human being.
He is a big dude. He is a big dude.
Dude, Seiya, unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been. This is the best. He does go through like really scorching hot stretches every year,
but then he gets hurt, right? So like you just gotta hope he just stays healthy.
Yep.
But yeah, from like J-Rod, Butler, Seiya, Wood would all play. Ian Happ 46 would be
Mullins. Mullins has been awesome. Mullins was like the best Oriole on the.
Dude, Mullins has awesome. 14 or 15 RBI on the year, which is
he's been great. Yeah, he's been great.
Lee at 44, a guy that we've played a lot of this year. You do have Conforto against Irvin at 43.
Yes,
best spot for him there.
Yes.
Ryan O'Hearn, Pavin Smith. We talked about Blade homer tonight. Lefty bat against Vasquez. Again, has some power. Not off to a good start, but the power's there. PCA had 3 hits today, and he had 2 stolen bases. I don't know if we can continue to count on that every night. But, he singled, stole second. Next at bat, singled, stole second. That's what he's going to do if he gets on first. If he gets on first, his job is to get on second. So, in fantasy, there's value in stolen bases. So, you have that there. Dylan Cruz.
I was gonna say you went with the worst version of the Washington outfielder right now. Even though Dylan Cruz should be the better version of the two. Alex Calla has switched bodies with who everyone thought Dylan Cruz would be, and
we usually played Alex Calla versus lefties, but I guess he's just hitting everybody now. So,
dude, he hit second on Tuesday. They moved him up to second in the order.
Don't sleep on Dylan Cruz.
That's because Abrams hurt.
2 hits in the last 3 games each.
I'm a Dylan Cruz believer. I'm just saying, like, as of right now, they have swapped bodies.
That's fair. Grisham, 3,200 against Flaherty. Is he a torpedo batter? Because what's going on with Trent Grisham?
No, he's not. He's a regular batter, no batting gloves guy.
Okay.
One of the rare breeds of no batting gloves. His bat shattered today. I felt so sorry for him in 30-degree weather. Shattered bat in 30-degree weather was awful sight for Trent Grisham. But I assume he'll be in the lineup if there's no Bellinger. Sure. Get the MVP posters up in New York.
Yeah, Alec Thomas. Obviously, we talked a lot about lefty Creamer 3K.
Yep.
Again, you can play the Mets. Again, we like Meyer as a talent, but if This is a tougher spot. Jesse Winker's 29. We talked Gavin Sheets already.
Elevated fly ball rate too for Meyer.
Yep. You talked Gavin Sheets at 28 there. Seth Brown, lefty power. Can't hit anything, but maybe.
Cannot hit anything, but
has not hit anything in 3 years, right? Like he walked so Brent Rooker could run, so.
Correct. Jay Hay, if Jay Hay's in the starting lineup, 20.
If they may have to have him play, they don't. That's probably...
We don't need to. Yeah, yeah.
Cam Smith did triple tonight. You did say they just need to get him going.
They just need to get the kid. There's no way that you can find consistency in Major League Baseball if you don't just give people at bats.
Yeah.
Right? How?
I don't know. We talk about this in the NBA all the time. It's like, why don't they just play guys the minutes? And you're like, we don't know.
I'm not saying that. It's not like he's done much with his at bats, but they've been sparingly. So just play him to.
If you're not going to play him here, send him down to play him there. Right?
Right.
All right. I think we settled in on a couple of ideas.
Osvaldo Bido.
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna let's build this one backwards here. We want Soderstrom.
We do want Soderstrom.
Right. So we want to get at least that. I think we wanted
Blade.
So do we want like Sheets on the other side? Like Sheets, Blade.
Yeah, I like the value that we're starting with right there.
Right. And then I think we were just spending up for Altuve just because.
Because seconds stunk, yeah.
Right? The seconds kind of sucked.
I mean, Dodgers look so good. They look so good because it's Jake Irvin.
I know.
And Jake Irvin allowed so many home runs.
Do Young here at 32.
Conforto Mookie.
Yeah.
Is there any correlation there? I was just trying to find like a shortstop outfield combination. I don't know if we could do that because you have to punt. You have to do your.
Are we gonna punt catcher anyways? Like.
Yeah, Caratini. You have to punt your Caratini play.
And then that's 82.50.
Oh boy.
Be like Verlander, McGill, or.
No, you're taking a shot on Fott or Meyer. You have to, I think.
Yeah. Myers but then you're pitching against each other. But
you can get if you go Meyer, you can get up to Fried.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, you're taking a shot on Max.
And this is only because we're doing a Mookie Ohtani
Altuve
build.
Yeah, if you went like Conforto or if you went Teoscar.
Is that the direction you'd rather go?
No, I mean I'm definitely good. I mean I'm definitely good correlating the Dodgers' best two players that hit.
I was gonna say like,
second.
Would you not rather just play like Andy Ibanez or like?
No. I think I think I'm good. All you need from Victor Caratini is to get you 5 fantasy points here.
Yeah.
If
I'm pretty sure. I think he plays in this game.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's also been better than Yanier Diaz. And he's hitting 230. He's hitting 230, and he's been better than Yanier Diaz. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Second stunk.
Second did stink. Yeah.
We play Altuve.
All right.
We play Ohtani. What are you uncomfortable about here?
I don't know. So you go Altuve, and Ohtani.
And Mookie.
Oh, what was I doing?
I don't know.
Oh, we're trying to do different pitching, I think, right?
That's what I'm asking you. Is that what you're uncomfortable with? Is it the pitching?
I think I was trying to figure a way to get to Verlander, but I don't think it matters.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know the matchups are different, but like in a vacuum, Max Meyer who has more upside, Max Meyer or Justin Verlander? Just like
the matchups are hugely different.
They're hugely different. So the Mets haven't. You're saying
Bart Dunn hitting second or whatever his name is.
Okay, Mark.
whatever that guy's name. Brian
Bart
Dune
Dunn.
is here.
Honestly, Bart Dunn would have been a better name for him. That's a
What is his
quality name.
What is this guy's name? Blake Dunn is out here hitting second for
Bart Dunn.
For Cincinnati here.
I liked it better when it was Bart. Truthfully.
Yeah, all right. Bart Dunn is out there. No, I mean you're not wrong. I mean, well, if we didn't play Ohtani, we'd just go down and play like
Rooker or Lawrence Butler.
Yeah.
You probably get the lefty power, and then
you want Butler over Rooker?
I would.
I clicked the same person twice. Or could do this.
Because then you can get up to
do Yordan Altuve against
Yordan Altuve. Yeah.
The other Castillo. I know we kind of committed to the games here.
I prefer that game so much more.
Butler's actually really started to turn it around. And we probably don't even need Carantini if we didn't want to.
Well, I was going to say you could also, if you wanted to get up to Hunter Brown in that, you could stand punt Caratini and just go up to Hunter Brown as well. You can't. Shoot, I take it back.
$100 hairs.
Math is hard.
No, it's not your fault. That's just an unfortunate. They know what you're trying to get to here situation.
Yeah.
I mean, if we didn't need Blade necessarily.
No, we don't.
Kind of do. There's kind of sucks down here as well. Alec Thomas is 3K.
Yeah, I don't mind Alec Thomas.
I don't mind him either. What did he actually do anything tonight in that game? Arizona. They scored 4 runs. Did Alec Thomas do anything? Alec Thomas 0 for 3.
0 for 3 is not great.
Not great. You want typically you want a little better. All right, let's go back down to Max Fried.
Okay.
And then let's go back up to Teoscar.
Okay.
Right? Do Teoscar and Betts instead of Blade. Right? We'll do a Soderstrom Butler Betts Teoscar stack.
Yep. Good with that.
Does that feel better?
Yep.
Okay. Fried, Verlander. Oh, we even got Verlander in there too. What did I just do? How did I get that?
You got rid of Hunter Brown again.
Oh, okay. I got rid of Ohtani.
You also got rid of that guy.
That doesn't feel great. Ohtani's a really good player.
I really liked the Mookie Ohtani stack that you originally had. You're just refusing to play Max Meyer, and you just want to play a pitcher that is 47 years old. It's okay. I'm not saying you have to play Max Meyer. You want to play Verlander so bad. You're just not moving. You're not budging off Verlander.
It's an uncomfortable feeling.
Verlander's uncomfortable. He didn't make it into the 3rd inning last start.
But I feel like he is.
Cincinnati's
really bad though.
They are not good. I am not disputing that.
How do I get rid of Altuve? Can we just play Luis Garcia and just call it a day?
I mean, I like Luis Garcia.
He's been bad.
He's been better of late. Keith has the left.
You've worn me out. Where was this? Was this the Blade play? There he is. All right.
You've worn
Fried, Meyer, Carantini, Soderstrom, Altuve, Young, Betts, Sheets, Ohtani, Blade.
Don't sound too happy. Don't sound too happy about it, John. Don't sound too happy about it.
I'm going to play this lineup. So, you know what? I'll see you guys at the top of the winner's circle.
Top of the winner's circle.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Give me a break. We'll be back. Man. I'll be back later at 5 p.m. Eastern time with Keith breaking down the main night slate, 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. Get in the chat. Let us know where you guys are playing. Do you believe in Max Meyer? Let us know what kind of stacks you guys are doing. We'll have the playbook out as well, which I'm writing. Probably cover Boyd, Justin Verlander.
For sure.
And we'll catch you later, guys.